Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we will be using the Morphe 350 palette, and we will be using a Morphe E27 brush, clearly grabbing a little brown color. If I was better at describing these colors, I would, trust me. But it's just a very warm tone brown, a very light brown. Perfect for a transition color. As you see, we are putting straight onto the crease and blending upward. Then we're going to be grabbing a bit of a darker brown, as you can see right here. And the brush that we are using is a Morphe M433 brush, which is a perfect crease brush. I basically use this on clients, on myself, and it's soft. It's not too dense. It doesn't scrape, but it has enough density up to where it still puts product onto the lid. And the next brush that we are grabbing is just any little Anastasia Beverly Hills brush that actually came with one of her palettes. And we are grabbing a darker brown, basically just to deepen in that the outer corner. And we are just blending this right in, just in circular motion, step by step, obviously. And going back in with my Morphe M433 brush, just to kind of blend that out. Remember, we want no type of harsh edges. And obviously, go on to the next eye and do exactly the same. So as you can see, we'll be going in with a MakeupGeek loose shadow and a Real Techniques little synthetic brush. We'll be using the synthetic brush to place the loose shadow onto the lid, and obviously in order to do that, we will also be using a second synthetic brush, which is a little Kylie brush, and primer, which is the MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot, to place that to kind of have something to grip onto so the loose shadow won't be as messy. And just to give it a bit more of a pop, we will be using a little bit of setting spray to kind of wet that little Real Techniques synthetic brush. And obviously we first placed New Year's Eve in the inner corner, and then we used another color which is called Utopia, and we placed that right next to it. So as you could see right there, I am touching up on the New Year's Eve, and here we go. This is the Utopia, which is a very nice bronzy kind of brown, not too warm tone, just enough to kind of give you that little bronze effect. And obviously going back in with that Anastasia Beverly Hills brush and cleaning up. Obviously, as you could see, I winged it out. I had absolutely no more time, but I did it off camera. And primer and foundation, which is the Bobbi Brown foundation stick, and I used the Kat Von D hydrating primer because this foundation is a bit drying on my skin personally. So as you can see, I'm just blending that out and using a little Morphe Kabuki brush. I will place the number down below. I'm just blending all of this out and making sure it's all blended out, and afterwards I'll probably go in with my beauty blender just to make sure there's no harsh edges, or if I want to add more foundation just to kind of help it blend it out evenly. So as you could tell, my forehead, I will go very light-handed only because I don't normally tend to put a lot of foundation on my forehead, and a little goes a long way. So for concealer, I will be using my favorite, which is my Maybelline concealer. It is a drugstore concealer, very affordable for anyone that is looking for a very go-to everyday concealer and has perfect coverage. And I will be topping it off with a bit of my Kat Von D Lock-It concealer, just because I wanted to brighten it up more, not because of the coverage, but just to brighten up more. And obviously blending all of this out with my damp beauty blender. So when I get towards my nose, I kind of pinch it a little to make sure I don't blend it outward or out of its line. And obviously, as you can see, I am setting my under eye, which is normally the first thing that I'll set. And then I set a little bit under my cheekbones to kind of define that out without using so much powder. And I will let that set, and then with the remainings, I will kind of just go all over the rest of my face to kind of set the rest of my face, just to kind of not powder myself on more. I'm not really going for a very full coverage, so as you can see, I'm just going back in with the brush and making sure all of that powder or the translucent powder is just very well sunken into my skin. To bronze now, I'll be using a Hoola bronzer by Benefit Cosmetics, and I will be using my Dose of Colors. It is a powdered blush brush, and it's super soft, perfect for this. I personally like a softer brush only because it doesn't go so heavy on bronzer. I kind of don't like a heavy bronzer look. Some people tend to look overly tan, a fake type of tan, if you know what I mean. So I kind of like this very nice, soft, fluffy brush. It deposits enough, but I just prefer it to be fluffy. And obviously I'm grabbing another blending brush, a Morphe blending brush, and I will just be placing that to kind of snatch my nose a little. Nothing too over exaggerated or too defined, right? But just a little. Grabbing the Tardiest contour palette by Makeup Shayla and a Smith's Cosmetics brush. I'll be using this to contour, obviously, and I'm just taking it halfway in under the very hollows of my cheekbones, and I will just make sure I place it right in, making sure I get to those hollows and make sure I give myself some type of cheekbones. And then grabbing a Sigma brush, I am just cleaning this up with a bit more of translucent powder, and I will be grabbing that same Tarte palette to use under my eyes. So I made it work for 1 for 2. So I'm just making sure I go in with my under eye, and obviously using both colors, and I'm just darkening in the half of my under eye, if you understand what I mean. I mean, as you could tell, I'm not bringing it all the way in because I don't want a very dramatic dark look. I'm going for something more natural, and by natural I mean let's get with the highlight. I mean, nothing's natural about this look, but this highlight is more of a natural highlight. It's nothing too over the top, but it does give you a very nice glow to the skin. And if you add some Fix Plus or some setting spray, it does mild it out a bit, and it is perfect for like an everyday type of wear, and it's not heavy. And off to blush, we are using a Tarte Cosmetics blush in the name Pampered, and it is a very nice peachy red blush, perfect for any type of complexion, to be honest. And I will be using a Bedazzled Tools angled blush brush, and I just kind of like to press it on and just kind of like swipe it across and press it back on. Next, obviously, is everybody's favorite, or at least my favorite, is lip products. So the first lip product that I'll be using is Anastasia Beverly Hills liquid lipstick in Milkshake, and obviously MAC lip liner in Spice, and the Kylie Jenner lip gloss in the name So Cute. So obviously applying first. I know it looks a little weird, but trust me, it will all come together. I'm just applying obviously Milkshake first, and then obviously outlining that with the MAC lip liner, and I'll just be topping that off with the gloss. So obviously I like to give myself a very nice coat, just to kind of mute out the lips, and then just so that lip gloss could have more of a pigmented look instead of just looking dull. So kind of give it some dimension. And for lashes, I'll be using Cocoa Lashes in Amore. This is actually my first time using this, and I loved them. So this, ladies and gentlemen, completes today's look. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys like and subscribe this video. If you guys would like to see any other looks, just go ahead and comment down below. See you guys on the next one.